Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 6 of the Long Voyage. It is
Yep.
number 6. Yes, I'm.
At least
I'm.
we're past episode 5 now.
Yay! Yay! It's all right if I lose count now because there are so many of them.
Mhm.
All right. Anyway, we are. It looks like we're all here. Which is cool because.
We're all here sans Ulva's
No,
Oh wait, no.
she's
She
logged
is
in.
here.
She's
That's
just
lovely.
muted.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
just muted, so we're all here.
I did not see that. Very
Yeah,
well, we're all
fine.
here.
And well, seeing as you are already talking, Chris, I'm just gonna hand it over to you so you can do a recap of last time.
No.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Right, fine. I mean, one day I'm just not going to do it, and it's going to be horrible.
Yes. But
What
you
did happen
do it
last
so
time?
well.
Yeah, not really. You just say that. What happened last time is that we were, as far as I remember, we met our B team, a group of native men and men of the Green Shores, and one she of the not quite Green Shores, but near as damn it, who would be fighting alongside us in making our trek towards the hill fort that we had been sent to try and attack as a diversionary effort for the armies of the Sword Karatok that we were now in the employ of. And there was much role playing goodness. Some of the characters got to try our first ever bowl of whiskey, or whiskeva, as it's referred to in the game. Ulva got to meet her idol in sort of not really a vision. Apparently, it's real enough, but it's weird. Apparently, sort of the Raven Lady has powers that people cannot comprehend. She's secretly Cthulhu or something. And then yes, most of the rest of the trip was spent sort of making our way out to the location. We were sort of a part of the way there after a day or so of strenuous hiking. I believe we decided to do some hunting and foraging last time we left off, and there was a bit of a funny to do between Frothy and Goofy, if I remember correctly.
Yes, because Frothy had found some berries that Gulfi could. Of course, he identified them as being delicious and edible, and therefore obviously told Frothy that they were very poisonous and that he should not eat them. And then he ran off with all the berries.
Yes, he told it. And yes, and considering that Sindri and Frothy had been basically at each other's throats at various times throughout the session.
No, we haven't.
Yes, they have, because Sindri enjoys being wound up by Frothy in roughly the same way that I apparently enjoy being wound up by you, Rasmus. So. Oh dear.
All right.
But yes, so that's basically where we left off.
Yes.
That was happening, and
you were just inside the borders of a small forested area, and you were in a natural sink in the landscape, a so-called dell, where you could set up a fireplace, and actually somebody clearly had done so before you at some point.
okay.
That's where you are basically camping. It's out of sight, and it's shielded from wind and weather, and if it starts raining throughout the night, you're in the woods. It's not going to be as bad.
True enough. How far are we from? I keep forgetting the Gaelic name for it. The hill fort that we're going to.
You are. You had been traveling, I believe, for 3 days, and you were told that it would take a 10-day to get there. I think you're on the fourth. Actually, the fourth day. Yes, you're on the fourth day.
Okay.
So it's the evening of the fourth day, obviously. So, yeah, and it would
Fair
take
enough.
10 days to get there.
Okay.
So yes, and yeah, specifically what the place is called is obviously a good thing to know. It's known as Ballycnoch.
Ballychnoch, and that
Yeah.
literally means hill fort.
It literally means town on a hill.
Down on a hill. Okay.
So yes. And you had been told that it would be lightly defended, but it would at least have something to the effect of, what's it called, a palisade wall or something of the sort.
Yes, of course. Question out of character, since I have a mind like a sieve. Was it ever established if anyone in our group, our cross-country exchange program was in charge?
No, the one who has been doing the majority of the talking for that particular group is the man known as Braydon, and I'm just gonna show here. Basically, this is the guy we're talking about. He's the one who's been doing most of the talking. He's clearly the more experienced of these men.
Excellent.
Well, he's not necessarily the most experienced because you have a she with you, but he's the one who's the most experienced with leadership, clearly.
Okay, so I suppose the next question is anyone in our group of Southlanders prepared to default to his leadership in these matters?
He hasn't tried to command any of you around. He hasn't tried giving orders to any of you at any point.
Fair enough. Okay. Suppose we will continue then.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Anybody have any other questions?
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. All right. In that case, when we rejoin this merry band of adventuring souls, basically what happens, or what we see here, is from above, through the eyes of a raven, you can see you guys on the ground sitting around a campfire. You can just barely spot you through the overhang, through the overhang and the trees. And there's a little bit of light from down there, and the raven is a little annoyed because you're not out in the open where it can see you, so it circles around a few times and lands in a tree a safe distance from you and that icky fire, and just sits there and observes you, where none of you really take any notice of it at this time. I mean, it's a bird, and you're in a
well, considering how often that bird, Cinder at least knows that looking at a raven can induce visits from his sword, so he's if he saw it, he'd be a bit wary.
Mm-hmm. Well, but we are back with you guys around the fireplace. So, take it away.
Well, first of all, I have a slight correction to make. Baggy is certainly not somewhere near the fireplace.
Oh.
He's off on his own somewhere.
He's off on his own. All right.
Yes.
We don't want to know the details.
No.
Speak for yourself.
No.
I think Joan is also speaking for our dear listening audience at this point.
Yes, I'm sure I do. I am sure I do.
Okay.
It is not that kind of channel.
No.
Oh, good grief. And, yes. It's the first time in any of my game groups that anyone has made a character with that particular personality trait. Christ almighty. Yes. You, anyway, guys, you are sitting around the fire. Well, most of you are, and you did, as I recall, you did actually catch Gylfi in the end last time while he was trying to make good his escape with the berries.
Yes, and then I gave him a, what's the word when you put your knuckles to someone's skull? Yes, I gave him tons of those.
He got noogies.
It's disgraceful, Gylfi.
Yes.
You should be a better warrior than that.
Hey, he's a warrior who managed to eat at least a third of the berries before anybody caught him, so...
That's true. It should have given him like a natural sugar high or something to help.
Or maybe it did, and then his blood sugar crashed and he couldn't move anymore.
Sip.
In any case, guys, you are. It is. It's just, you know, it's. I'm tempted to say it is yet another evening in Tearglass. It's quiet and peaceful and yeah.
Which means, from what I know of your storytelling, Joan, that something terrible is about to happen, and we don't realise it.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Of course you don't.
I plead the fifth.
Mm-hmm. Pray for the best. Would you describe the accused as a friend? No, describe the accused as a git.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think
what
actually, despite the calm, Frody will comment that you have so many animals running around. It's distracting. A sound over there and a sound over there.
You can't hear anything
Hmm.
except the bird that landed. But other than that, that is the only animal sound you've heard for the last. Well, there's no measure of minutes, but for the last at least 200 breaths, you haven't heard a single animal sound.
Ah, in that case, I think his comment would be, is it always this quiet?
And the one of the men you're traveling with, Ardal, the one who really likes his drink, looks up and goes, is it quiet? We can start singing.
No, I can't hear any animals. Perhaps a predator's nearby.
Well, yeah, we are.
Or something worse.
The it looks like it looks like your she companion Aiden is he's thinking very hard about something. It looks like he can't quite, you know, it's that I've got it right at the tip of my tongue thing. You can almost tell from the look on his face.
You look thoughtful. Frody says and then realizes he can't communicate with the man.
Yeah, because he speaks Old Tongue.
Yeah, and
But he does look at you with this quizzical look on his face, and then he turns to one of the others to get some translation. And I'm guessing that through circumspect means, then you guys managed to get, you know, you have been able to communicate with him last time, obviously. So he and he said, yeah, well, I'm not quite sure, but there's something. There's a story that I kind of feel I should remember, and I can't.
Story about.
That's the thing. I'm really not sure. I can't really remember what is. There's something about the area we're in, but it's. I don't know. It's really old, and it's, you know, even for me, it's really old. I don't know. Might be nothing.
Is it something we should be concerned about?
That's the thing. I can't remember. He says. I can't. I just have this weird feeling that somewhere way back in the deep, dark, dank mists of my childhood, many years ago, somebody told me a story about the area we're in, and I can't really remember what it was about.
Zindri, you have good ears, haven't you?
Yes, I believe so.
Maybe it would be best to, I don't know, scout the area. Just to be certain.
Indeed, that was my thought.
Sounds like a good idea. Aiden stands up and volunteers to come along.
As a two-man team, or shall we split up?
He says both of us at the same time, both together. It's safer.
Yes. All right. Sindri, he leaves his shield behind because that's noisy and heavy. It'd be foolish if he didn't keep his mace at the very least, and he'll take his bow.
Time to stumble upon Baggy.
Yes, well, no, not really. What happens is that Baggy is off somewhere to himself.
Oh dear.
He is out there enjoying some me time.
Yes.
Yes,
Quality time.
Quality me time, all by himselfish. And suddenly, while you are sitting there, you can hear someone right behind you.
I think that's a jump scare moment.
Yes, it is.
And Baggy tries to, pack away his thing.
Yes. Yes, his thing. Yes. And he and I suppose he gets up and pulls up his pants and so on.
Yes.
Do you turn around?
Yep.
Yeah. What you see is 5 of these guys.
Oh!
Well, that's not fun.
Oh my.
Maybe they're interested in a very bony orgy.
One of them raises its bow and points an arrow, or aims an arrow directly at you.
Okay. What do the other 4 do? There were 5 in
They
all, right?
seem to be, yes, the other 4 seem to be heading towards the camp.
Well, then that leaves Baggy with a little choice. So they're basically skeletons.
Yes, they are. They are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tall, willowy elf skeletons.
Skeletons.
Well, they're not that tall compared to you guys.
Well, fair enough, but
I think Baggy looks at the one with an arrow pointed at him and asks, or says, "So, I don't suppose there's any way I can reason with you."
And it loosens its arrow.
I thought so.
All right. Let's see if it can hit anything.
Yep.
And I'm going to roll here. Let's see. I just need to change the right map so that people can actually, or the right screen, so people actually see my rolls. Yes, I can in fact hit you.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, so Baggy didn't really have his shield up or anything.
No, you can try to dodge.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't dodge a what's it called? You can't dodge a bullet, but you can try to dodge an arrow or crossbow bolt or something along those lines. Those you can dodge.
Well, let's see if he can dodge.
make it sound like we're going to encounter bullets at some point in this game.
No.
Nope.
Not
Okay.
happening. Nope, you can't. Okay, you get hit then.
Okay.
In the groin.
Maybe not. Let's see. And I'm assuming that seeing as you are out there, you are still armored, I guess. I mean,
Yes.
It would make no sense otherwise.
I think the only thing that's different is that he's put down his shield for him to better be able to. Yeah. Well,
yes.
you know.
Yes, no details. Thank you very much.
I love this disadvantage.
Ooh!
Ouch!
And that is impaling damage. It's in your body.
My body, which is 5, I
Yeah,
think.
5-3. Impaling damage is not quite so good against.
Oh, yeah, 3, so that's,
So that's
6.
So you take 9 points because it's impaling.
Oh,
Yeah.
that fucking hurt.
That does probably put you on the ground. There is a
what's my
long arrow now that has basically, it goes directly through your shoulder. You have half the arrow out one side and half the arrow out the other.
Yep.
And my guess is basically, or I'm going to make a ruling here and say that comes as so much of a surprise you're slung to the ground, basically.
Yeah.
With that much force behind it. But
Yep.
that also makes the thing turn around and walk away.
No. Well, it might turn around and walk away, but Baggy gets back up on his feet and grabs his axe and charges after it.
At it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Sure. Well, the other 4 are still continuing towards the camp, but we're going to move over to the combat screen here, guys, because we're going to need some initiatives from everyone.
Yep. And how did we roll initiative again? Initiative.
You jump on one leg
I
for
believe
several minutes.
it's based on your movement, isn't it? I believe so.
Might be.
This is really brilliant. I forgot as well. Let's look it up in a hurry. Seriously.
It is all good.
It is all quite pathetic, really, but it's all good. Let's have a look. Characters here. We shall take a look. And there is such a thing, fortunately, as an index in this book. Isn't that the nicest thing?
It really is.
Initiative, page 300 and let's see, 393. So that is in this book. Here we go. So initiative, surprise attack, and initiative. Here we go. You are not totally surprised.
Well, that's good.
Well, you're not, because you guys hear he obviously. I don't think Baggy is quiet when he takes 9 points of
Nope.
damage.
No.
Also,
Or when
we're hitting
he shouts some kind of battle cry. As he
Yeah,
rushes
some
up.
kind of obscenity probably, because
Yep.
Jesus fucking Christ, that hurt.
Yep.
Except I cannot actually see it right here. It's really annoying. Is there an initiative thing on your character sheets? Maybe
I'm not seeing it. That's why I asked.
Alright,
Really,
what I
is
believe,
I'm not,
how I believe it is done.
Isn't it
Here it is.
based on speed?
The Yes, it's based on your movement speed.
Okay.
So you roll 1d6 and add it to your movement speed.
There is a sort of clock thing next to my movement speed.
That may be it. I think that's it.
Where does he?
No,
No,
because
that's
then
just
it
how-
just
No.
rolls it.
Yeah, that's just that just proves your speed, basically.
Alright, so I roll 1d6 and add that.
I think actually it is just your speed it is just your movement speed that does it. But seeing as most of you have very similar movement speeds, you then roll a d6 to do the tiebreaker.
Ah, like
So
that,
you
yes.
move in order of how quickly you move, and that does mean that you move quicker than these guys.
Okay.
So
So we should just establish what our movement speeds are then.
precisely. So if you just type in what your movement speeds are, and then those of you who might have the same movement speed, you roll a 1d6
Okay,
to
cool.
be, to do the tiebreaker.
Sure. Works.
We don't have the battle map yet.
It's because I haven't moved you over there because I'm a bit of an idiot. There you go. Now you have it.
Kumquat.
And let us see. And I need to write in, obviously, not only these there we go, text. I don't know why I'm having such difficulty finding anything on this screen today, but for some reason I do. And let's see, we have
Damn it, I'm muted. I think Ulva needs to reset her health bar.
probably yes.
Yes, as does Buggy.
Well, reset it and then take 9 points off of it. So
Yes, and I have some Barrow Whites up here who will be moving at various speeds, obviously.
Sure.
They are moving at, all of them moving at a speed of 5, which means that they basically move all of them just in order, basically. And then we have your friends, your allies, who will be moving as well, because obviously you are not actually fighting this on your own. And that means that we have
Rasmus, what's the font size you used?
32.
32. Oh.
Yeah, it scales it down once you.
Oh, okay. That's huge.
Yeah, there should be integrated the initiative tracker in the thing.
We can't find it.
Oh,
there is. It's the little wheel, but the point, of course, is that normally you don't. Your normal initiative is simply your movement speed.
And
So
we have a lot of.
you have a
similar.
lot of similar ones. Yes, it's admittedly one of the weak points of the system. And
of course you do.
So we should probably move above the Barrow Whites, actually.
oh yeah, we'll arrange everything here in a moment because.
Cool.
If only it was daytime.
I'm not that slow.
No, what? No, that's not what I'm saying. I was thinking if it was daytime, I could have made a Lord of the Rings reference.
Alas.
Alas, indeed.
I can see that our elf is fast.
Yes, your elf is in fact quite fast.
Master of film foo.
Of elf foo?
No, film foo, which is basically the same as elf foo. That ability
Right,
to,
I'm just
twirl
gonna-
swords around in fancy ways and still kill lots of things.
Yes, we shall move all of these things around a bit here so that we can. I think we can assume that Aiden is at the top of this, and then we have.
Gilfie and I need to roll a new tiebreaker.
Yes, you do, and then we have Buggy, and then we have. And I need to, because I have 2 at 5.5 as well, so I need to roll twice as well, 2d6. That's one of them, and that's, oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Okay, Gulfi is on 3, let's roll between the others, so, yeah.
So yeah, I should roll again.
Yeah. And I roll 3 and
Eee.
1 on mine, so, okay, we have... First we have him, and then we have Frothy, and then we have Ardal, and then we have Gulfi, and then we have Ogran and There we go. And so, there we go. We now have an actual turn order.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We are that good. Yay. All right.
Indeed.
And as we have done in this particular game, the first time we ran into combat, there is no little square-filled map or anything. This is all done with narration. But how this whole thing starts, of course, is that there is that shout from Bagi when he gets shot in the shoulder, and it sounds painful, to put it mildly.
Oh, my penis!
And as he shouts, everybody obviously knows that something is about to, the shit is about to hit the fan. Everybody gets up, everybody grabs their weapons. Nobody is taken by surprise when these, when you start seeing these skeletal creatures coming from within the trees. And Aiden, being the first one to react to all this, has a look on his face of absolute horror.
Oh, is it?
Sorry,
Yeah.
what?
He's thinking, oh, that's what the stories were about.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
exactly. That's pretty much what's painted all over his face. But he shouts to these skeletal warriors in old form, and it's really old form. It's very archaic and very stylized, and he doesn't have time to shout a whole lot, obviously, before actual combat begins. But the only response he gets, he's clearly trying to tell them that, stop. I'm like you, and we are not enemies. And the only response he gets is that one of these wraiths, or not wraiths, wights specifically, raises its bow and aims at him. And then we go to actual turns. And of course, Aiden sees this happening and reacts immediately by running towards this archer. He will not be able to reach it for at least, even if you guys run at full pelt towards them, they're coming out from between the forest or the trees. It will take you 2 rounds before you're able to engage them in melee. But the point being, you would have to charge once, and then next round you would reach them. That's the thing. And let's just say they have a target-rich environment here. But he goes for the nearest one. Ulva, what do you do?
Hilva does what she does best.
So she charges?
She has a little too wide wolfy grin on her face as she charges one of them with her big warhammer in her hands.
Yep, definitely. And again, it'll take you all of this round, and you will
reach them next.
Yeah, you will reach them next round. And we have Galvin up next. He's holding a bow of his own, which he is using to. No, sorry, he's not holding a bow. Damn it, he's holding a spear. That was what he had, wasn't it? Let me just check. Can't remember here. I have described it.
Well, you can probably still chuck those.
Yeah, but it's not a throwing spear, which means that even if he does throw it, he'll be unarmed. No, he does have a bow with him. He's the hunter in the group here. So yeah, he is holding his bow, obviously, and in that case, and he fires because, yes, please. And he hits barely, but he hits. Let's see. Ugh. All right. Ching. Well, that doesn't look like it does a whole lot of anything, but at least that gives all of you an impression that that kind of weapon is probably going to have very little, if any, effect on creatures like these. Basically, the arrow just clatters in between the bones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ilva has learned that crushing stuff isn't a good thing when it
Yes.
comes to bones. She even demonstrated on a, what was it, bullhorn or something like that? Bull
Yeah,
skull?
bull skull, yeah. And that means it is now. Whoa, wait, what? Is that Sindri moved up there? Yep. Then it is Sindri's turn.
Okay, where is Sindri?
Sindri is. He was just getting ready to go with Aiden, so they were standing very close together. That means that you and he were slightly off, by yourselves, ready to get going. He
Imagine
is heading directly for the nearest one. They're not all coming from exactly the same direction. They're spread out a little bit.
Sindri probably has to pick his shield up again, having literally just put it down, ready to head off. And then yes, see.
So he picks up the shield.
Yes, I assume that's going to cost me some time.
It does. It's it means you can't charge, but you can still move towards them.
I do. I move in such a way that I put myself between the white and the other fellow, who though I'm sure can defend himself, is not anywhere near as well armored as I am.
Yes. Right.
So that'll be what I do.
Yes. Baggy, you are in fact close enough to reach yours.
Woo! Cool.
Because obviously, things are a little different over on your end of the battlefield.
Yes. Okay, well then, remind me, John, if I want to aim at his head or its head, how does that work?
That works in mysterious ways, so to say. There is such a thing as called shots in this game system. And let's just take a look at aiming here for a moment.
Sorry about all these questions.
No, it's fine. We need to know these things, obviously. So it's all good. It's all good.
There's actually a table on the character sheet for it, for hit locations.
All right.
Oh, okay.
That should explain it.
Cool. Yep.
And it gives you certain minuses, of course, to hit if you strike at a specific area. What's more, of course, is that you've taken a significant amount of damage.
Yes.
And when you are below a certain amount of health, it will start to impact your efficiency. So let's just see. Under health, hit points. Thank you very much. And so here we go. Hit points. And yeah, that is also in. Yes, you can definitely roll to see if you can hit. But did you want to strike at a specific area?
I think, given the extreme penalty that's already associated with aiming or hitting a specific hit location, I think Baggy will just strike at the skeleton, desperately trying to stop it from reaching his companions.
Exactly.
So,
that sounds like a pretty good choice in this case. How many hit points are you down to out of how many? That's quite important here.
4 out of 13.
4 out of 13. So you are exactly at 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. If you lose one more hit point, you'll start taking some big minuses.
Okay, so not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, you're fine up until now.
And that is a hit.
It is indeed.
Yep.
Excellent. Let's do some damage to this thing.
6 points of damage.
Ooh, nice. That it feels clearly that it feels, and you're hitting it in the body, obviously, and
Yep.
it is wearing, as you can see, some absolute scraps of armor, but they are literally scraps, so very very minimal protection. But yes, you probably to your satisfaction, you see several ribs snap when your axe impacts this creature's chest cavity.
Cool.
And I mean, obviously it reacts because, oh, you're too close to shoot at now. So we'll get to that.
We can also just skip it. I don't mind.
Yeah, we could, but we're not going to. And we have Galvin is up next. No, he was the one who I already fired with because I got everything ass backwards. So no problem, we'll skip him this time. Frothy.
Yes. As I wrote in chat, for this player curses that he doesn't have the rulebook to look up his spells because I have Shapefire and a Source of Fire nearby.
Right.
And that is cheaper to use, as I remember, than Fireball. But I don't remember what it does.
No, but that is well.
It is on page 246.
Fantastic. I was at 245.
Oh. What are you doing down in the magic section?
I was literally scrolling down to find the magic section. Let the caster control the shape of any flame. Any shape changes. A shape change requires a second of concentration, so 1 round. Once shaped, the flame keeps that shape until the spell expires. So yeah.
Okay, so
Flame shaped with this spell normally retains its volume.
What?
Fire or flame shaped with this spell normally retains its volume.
Okay.
So you can't take a candle flame and turn it into a bonfire.
Alright, and how big is our bonfire?
About the size of a normal campfire. It's not much.
Yeah, so it's not a huge one.
No. And it's also, while you can, it says here, moving a flame requires constant concentration. They move at a move of 5 on the caster's turn.
Yeah, then it's easier to just use Fireball.
Yes.
I think then that, as he usually does, Frodi raises his shield to cover himself from arrows.
Yes.
And I think he'll charge it for this round.
Okay. Yes. So you want to put some more oomph into it.
Exactly.
Yep. Sounds like a very wise precaution in this case. So you're protecting yourself behind your shield and putting extra oomph into Fireball. And then it is Ordal who staggers to his feet, half blind with drink as always, and he picks up his he carries a rather heavy and in many ways rather cumbersome looking sword, and then he just, with a very loud belch, he charges for the nearest one. As war cries go, it's not the most impressive you guys have ever heard.
I know.
And Gulfi, your turn.
Well, Gulfi is at this point like stuff is happening. Pulls out the bow.
Yes.
Like, I'm not getting anywhere near those things. Like, and just pulls one arrow and just releases into
Yes.
the nearest one. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
And yeah, that is a miss. Then it is Odrin's turn, and Odrin grabs his he's already holding his weapon. He raises his shield, which is not round like yours, but more like a rhomboid shape, and quite large. And he raises that in front of himself, and he begins to advance behind it, not swiftly necessarily, but he is almost fully covered by his shield. It offers
Smart.
very good protection. Yeah, it'll probably take him a lot longer to, or at least somewhat longer, to get to the enemy than you guys, but he's also a lot less likely to be shot in the meantime. And then it is Braydon, and he actually reaches down to his belt and pulls up a short shafted axe, pulls back his arm and throws it at one of them. So let's see if he can hit something with that.
You can do it.
Come on. Yes, he can. He absolutely can. Yes, it actually, Sindri, it would have. If it hadn't hit, there's a chance that this thing will bounce. Oh, nice roll. So he throws this axe full force at one of these things, and you guys can see how it takes about half the back of the skull of one of them. All the only effect it has is that it turns its attention to him. And let's see, there we go. Yep. I'm just keeping track on their health and stuff. And finally we've gotten to the whites. And the first one, number one, is the one that Baggy is now fighting, and well, he has taken some pretty horrible damage, and so now he has also pummeled it. So what it does is that it drops the bow and reaches for a couple of long knives that look remarkably like the ones Aiden fights with. It seems to be a sort of a normal sort of weapon for the She.
Okay.
But it pulls those out and it slashes at you to see if it can, might be able to actually, hit you or something. And let's see, it's not going to be that easy for it, unfortunately for me, but let's see. Nope, it misses. It slashes and misses. Yeah.
Mishes.
It misses.
Words.
Words.
Who
needs them?
You only had 3 cans and you're steaming.
Words.
I am not pished. We're full of Red Dwarf quotes today.
Yes, we really are. We are full of Red Dwarf quotes, but then again, Red Dwarf is awesome.
Yes.
All right. Then it is number 2. This is the one that Braydon just had the misfortune of attracting the attention of, and that raises its bow and fires at him. Let's see how that goes. Unfortunately, that's a hit. And let's see. It's 4 points of damage to him. That was probably the roll that Baggy would have liked to have.
Yep.
And let's see. He takes 4 points of damage indeed, and then we have that was number 2. Number 3. Number 3 goes for. Let me see. Number 3 goes for Oddrun because he's making a rather difficult but very obvious target of himself. So it tries to hit him.
Challenge accepted.
And it actually manages to clip him in the leg. With that, he's one of the few parts of him that actually stick out anywhere. So when he moves, so he does get hit. Ooh.
So much for that strategy.
Yep. And that means that basically he takes he doesn't take an arrow to the knee, but he does take an arrow through the lower part of his leg, and it very nearly pins him to the ground. You can see that he can barely move. And
Yeah, okay.
then it is the next one is number 4. Number 4 fires at. Let me see who's going to get this one. Frothy is making himself a little. I mean, he's not really doing much of anything behind his shield, which they think is a bit suspicious. So tries to fire at him.
No!
Yes.
They're intelligent! Run!
Yes, they are, and they hit. I'm having good rolls today.
I would like to try and block it,
Yes.
Yes.
since I have raised my shield and all that.
Yes, you have.
Also, please stop having good rolls. It's very impolite.
Unfortunately, you fail to block, so you take damage.
Do not penetrate my armor.
Let's see. Well, you. That is, of course, again, it's in your body, which means you have 3 points of armor against it, since it's an impaling weapon.
Mhm.
So you have 3, which is then times 1.5, and it's rounded off, so you take 5 points of damage.
Ow.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yes, very. And the next in line is number 5, and that one fires at Ordle. Let's see. Nope, misses. All right. Then it's back to the top of the round. Aiden reaches his opponent and tries to attack it. It's the end of the next round, so he... Yes, that's very nice.
You are allowed to have good rolls when it's for our allies.
Yeah, okay, that's all right then.
I think we can agree that's a good thing.
Yes.
I object.
Ooh, he does a lot of damage with that. And that is, in fact, an impaling weapon.
Mhm.
So, let me see. That is this one here. And that takes...
I guess he hit straight on the bone then.
Haha. Very funny. He takes 9 points of damage. Because no, he doesn't. He takes 8 points of damage, of course. Here we go. And then it is Ylva. You can reach the bad guy this round. So which one are you going for?
The one that one she could reach.
All right, that is number 3.
I'm not picky.
Nope. Roll.
I just have to find my skills.
Well,
There
and
it
since
is.
you asked if impaling works against something that's dead, that very much depends on what part of it you hit. For example, the skull can be impaled.
Right. That's right on.
That's right on. Let's have some damage. Let's see you pulverize this thing. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yes.
14 impaling.
Yes.
Just-
I'm playing hockey. No, baseball with the head.
Yes. Well, you do hit it in the chest, since you don't aim, because if you aim, you get minuses to it. So.
Yeah.
But that's still in the chest. It does mean that it can't take impaling damage in the chest. It just means you do normal. But still, 14. I mean, good lord. Basically, what all
And
of
that's
you...
a 2, 1, 3, and a 6.
Yeah. What all of you see is Ylva running up to, the first one with, her shoulders turned slightly towards the enemy so that she can get the maximum amount of leverage. And then at the very, very last second, just as she takes the last 2 steps up towards it, she starts bringing the hammer around. And she just basically continues through the space previously occupied by the skeleton, which is now kind of split into numerous different parts, flying left, right, and center. If you can imagine that in slow-mo.
I imagine the home from Super Smash Brothers.
It's pretty impressive. This particular thing is definitely not going to take any further part in this fight.
It has to gather itself.
Yeah, pretty accurate actually. Yes.
Picking up the pieces.
Yes, and there we go. We remove him, and that means it is Sindri's turn.
You remove
Delightful.
him.
What? Sorry. You said something?
You remove him,
Yeah, he died.
but number 3 is still there.
Shouldn't be on the barrel.
There. Now he gone.
It's gone now. Yes.
Yeah.
How far away is the one attacking me?
Well, I don't think any of them actually fired on you, did they?
No, I think the point was that one of them was advancing in our direction.
Yes, that's the one that Aiden is now engaged with.
Oh, okay.
And he is in melee with it, obviously. You can shoot at it, but there's a risk that you're going to hit him.
Hit him!
No. Sindri may be racist, but he's practical.
Mm-hmm.
Reveal your traitorous intentions.
Well, the odds are better when it's 2-on-1, so he will basically he'll head in the direction of the one that Aiden is fighting and see if he can outflank it.
Yes, all right. So you will reach it next round.
Okay.
All right.
If it's even alive by then, but we shall see.
We shall see. And then it is then it's Baggy. You want to finish this thing off?
We'll certainly try. Let us swing with the mighty axe.
Yes.
Finish right on.
That is nice. Let's do some damage. I'm not the only one who's got good rolls today, I want to point out.
No.
Apart from that one.
Okay, that, on the other hand, is not terribly good, but you're still damaging it.
Nope.
And
You knock a finger off of it. It just looks at your hand, and then looks back at you and carries on.
That works.
It doesn't have that much ways of a rib cage anymore on one side. Most of the left side of its rib cage is kind of shattered and on the ground. And it is then it's Galvan's turn. He tries to shoot again. He tries to shoot at the one that fired on Ardal. Let's see. He hits. Nice. And let's see. There we go. Ugh. He's good at hitting, but he's not terribly good at doing damage.
Just reflects the sheer unkillability of these things.
Clearly. And let's see. Then it is Frothy. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yes.
I think he's going to target the one that shot him because
Yes. Because damn it.
initially he was going to target the one that shot the other shield guy.
Yeah, but
But that seems to be under control now.
that has been rent to pieces.
Yes. So I think he says, "Return to your pyre, Draugr," and then fires a fireball at it.
Yes.
And that would be this one, I think.
Nice. Let's do some damage.
Yes, and I don't remember the damage either.
It is 1d6 for every point you put into it, and since you've put 2 rounds into it, it's 2d6.
There's 2d6 flat, yes?
Yes, and it's obviously it's also, if these things are in fact flammable, then they might catch on fire.
Yes. I hope they
Unfortunately,
are.
bone doesn't burn that well on its own, but that's
But they are
still,
wearing stuff.
that is still a significant amount of damage. And basically, what happens is that you fire on one of the others, obviously. The one that you are now you fire at instead is number 2. It's the one that's been shooting Braydon and has.
Oh, the one that shot me was dead?
Yeah, the one that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good, I just mentioned. Yes.
Yes. No, sorry. The one that shot on you isn't dead. That makes more sense.
In that case, that's the one I would
of course.
prefer to target.
Obviously.
Revenge!
Yes. Well, the fireball streaks towards it. I'm assuming that it just looks pretty much like a standard flame, nothing particularly special or anything. When it shoots towards this thing, it trails fire, like a small comet, basically shooting from his hand. Goes directly into the rib cage. It shatters the sternum of the skeleton that he aims at, goes into the rib cage and then expands, and it just sends this thing in many pieces to the ground.
Nice.
And you all hear, when that happens, you all hear an unearthly scream coming from it.
Good. It didn't seem to like that.
No, it really didn't.
No, you've not just killed its body. It sounds like you've hurt the actual creature itself.
Oh, good. They started it.
That's very true.
The next thing next one up is Ordal, who reaches his enemy and swings. And hits, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
And he does. Let me just. There you go. Okay.
Not bad.
No, that's pretty decent actually. And let's see. That is. Yep. Alright, I'm just keeping track here of health, obviously. The next in line is Odrin, who is he is in an absolutely horrific amount of.
me?
Oh yes, Gilfie. Sorry, I don't know why. It's because you are so easy to miss.
Aww.
Oh,
Feelings hurt.
All right, prove me wrong.
No. Yeah, Gilfie will try to shoot the. Because how many of them is alive?
There are still
Three?
3 of them are still left. Actually, I should remove number 4 as well because that is gone too. There you go.
Yeah, he will shoot the one that's try to shoot the one that Ardal is fighting. No, not Ardal.
The 2 that you can see right now, because of course there is the one Baggy is fighting on his own further in, but there is the one that Ardal is fighting and the one that that has shot what's his name?
Right.
Yeah, Braydon. And they're the 2 that are left. So 2 and 5 you can still see.
I think he will shoot the one that's not engaging combat.
Yes.
In melee.
Yes, that would be the one that's been shooting at Braydon.
Okay, so let's do ploink. Oh. Yeah.
nice.
That is good. Do damage.
And then.
Oh.
Very nice.
Right. Okay. What happens here is that Gulfie's arrow goes actually between 2 of the ribs, and there's a nice spin on the arrow because, of course, you know the fletching is always tilted a little so that you get a spin on the arrow for better precision. And it goes straight through there, and it takes out 2 of the of this creature's what are they called in the spine?
vertebrae.
Yes, thank you. 2 vertebrae that it basically pulls with you out of the creature, which of course makes it stand awkwardly for a moment, and then it collapses on the ground.
Basically, he snapped it in half.
Yes.
Still the superior archer.
Yes, and I haven't been able to kill anyone because everyone I tried to kill ends up being killed for me. So
Yes, it must be bothersome to poor Sindri.
I will get my chance.
Yes.
I'm sure.
At this point, of course, it's Oddrin's turn, and he is in an ungodly amount of pain. He's pinned to the ground, literally with an arrow through his leg into the ground, and he's not screaming or anything of the sort, but everybody who's anywhere near him can see that he is in all manner of hell. Then there's Braden, who's pulling out his only he looks like he's about to pull out his only remaining axe and launch it, but then he decides that no, I'm not going to do that because then I would have to throw it into melee where my comrade is already standing. So he also begins to run towards the one that Sindri is heading in the direction of.
Is that one still alive? I thought that one was one of the ones that got killed.
No, that's the one that's still standing. That's the only one here that is still standing, actually.
Yeah, because Baggy is fighting one
Yes,
and one.
Baggy is exactly. Baggy is
Held
also,
up.
yes. I've been keeping track here on a piece of paper, so.
Okay, good.
And so yes, he starts running, and then we have we'll just remove this one as well because we only have 2 barrow whites left to do with now, and one of them, of course, really wants to put the hurt on this annoying fleshling in front of it. So, Baggy, I'll see if I can hit you.
Please don't.
Die.
I'm sad to say he does hit you.
That's a 1, 2, 3.
Let's see if we can dodge.
Yep.
Nope.
Oh
Nope.
my Jesus.
Wow.
Dodge, you can't even doge.
I
Nope.
can't dodge.
You can't doge. Well, the good news here is that it is the good news is that he's not actually impaling you with these, he's slashing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, which means that he does hit you, and then it kind of goes ching off your armor, because, there is that. And then we're doing the second of these barrow whites, and then we're going to take a short break and be back with the rest of the fight after that, okay?
Sure.
And the one remaining is the one that's fighting Ardal. Not Ardal, sorry, Aiden, if I could.
Yes.
Bleh, bleh, bleh.
The joys of having so many Gaelic names mashed together.
Exactly. Okay, let's see if he can hit. He can.
Oh, God.
And that's 3 points of damage to Aiden. Okay, there we go. And that's the end of the round. So we're going to take a short break and be right back with more The Long Voyage. So please don't go anywhere.